Alright, so fellas are coming over to watch the soccer game. And it's a really nice day outside. I don't feel like being inside in the kitchen, so I'm gonna barbecue. I'm gonna make some very, very delicious, easy to do flank steak. We're gonna marinate it in some cilantro, some chili, some lime juice, some mint, and we're gonna make a sort of Argentinian style barbecue with some Gaucho Sweet Potatoes, some roasted onions, and some burnt lemons. And then we're gonna make a really, really good Caesar salad, but we're gonna twist it up. Burnt romaine Caesar salad with a paleo primal vinaigrette. Let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start on our marinade. What you need for this are some limes, the chili, some oregano, some spicy or mild or smoked paprika. You're gonna need a little bit of garlic, black pepper, salt, red wine vinegar, olive oil, some cilantro, some mint. You can use a food processor, which I'm gonna use because it's a little bit quicker, or you can use a mortar and pestle. The choice is yours. Okay, so in our food processor, we want the zest of 1 lime. We just want the green part. We don't want this white pith that's bitter and sour, but the green part is amazing. Okay, so that's good. Next, we want the juice of the lime. You don't need any fancy devices or contraptions or tools to get the juice out of a lime. You just need a fork and some willpower. Alright? You take your fork, you put it in like so, right? And then you just squeeze and twist. Squeeze and twist. Squeeze and twist. You want to do the same thing with the other one. If you want to get some juice, some extra juice out of the lime, if it's a little hard, what you do is you just roll it a little bit. Cut it in half. Put your fork in it. Good. Next, we want some heat, some spice. So we take our chili pepper and we're going to just remove the seeds. Chop off the end. Cut it in half lengthwise, like so. Can you see that? Like that. Take the seeds, just peel them out. That's it. Rough chop into our food processor. Some garlic. Take a garlic, smash it. We want, I'd say 2 cloves. If they're big cloves, you can use 1.5. These are good sized cloves. We want 2 cloves. You like more garlic, use more garlic, okay? Nobody's judging you. Smash the garlic. Remove the skin. Another one. Smash. Remove the skin. Just rough chop. Really quick, rough chop. Just like that. Into our food processor. Some fresh cilantro. Give it a rough chop. Good handful of this cilantro. And then we want some fresh mint. Mint is strong. We don't want to use too much. We just want a couple leaves, you know? Maybe 6, 7 leaves, something like that. Next, we're going to take some of this paprika. Little bit of dried oregano. Very little, just a bit, just a touch. Good. Fresh cracked brown pepper. Again, about a teaspoon. Salt. We want about 1.5 teaspoons. Olive oil, extra virgin. Good amount. I'd say about 1/4 cup of olive oil. Next, we want some red wine vinegar. About 1/8 cup. That's going to be awesome on the skirt steak. Alright, so we take our skirt steak. We just want to pat it dry. Make sure it's nice and dry so the marinade sticks to it. Flip it over. Same thing on the other side. Good. Next, we take a plastic bag, zipper bag, and we just put the skirt steak right in. Like so. And we just want to pour it right in. Pour it in. Mix it all around. We've smushed it all around. We want to lay the steak flat inside the bag. And then we just want to flip the bag over and squeeze all of the air out. Right? And we just lock that up, seal it up. That goes in the fridge for an hour to up to 8 hours. We want to prep our sweet potatoes. You can get two different kinds of sweet potatoes. People call this a sweet potato, and then people call this a red yam. We're going to do both, okay? And we're going to do it the easiest way possible. You take some tin foil, and you just want to wrap it up. Mix it in there, put a little bit olive oil, and a little bit of salt. Just seal that up. Same thing with these guys. A little bit of olive oil. Same idea with the onion. You're gonna take it whole, don't cut it, don't peel it, nothing. Put it in your tin foil, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt. And just wrap that up. We're gonna pop these babies right into the coals. Sweet potatoes go straight onto the coals. Onion goes straight onto the coals. Take a couple lemons whole, wash them up, don't cut them, don't peel them, straight onto the coals as well. Okay, so while our potatoes and our lemons and our onion are on the grill and the charcoal is burning up, we're gonna make our Caesar dressing, okay? And then we're gonna throw our lettuce on last minute. So this is how we make the dressing. What we need are 4 anchovy fillets packed in oil, some lemon juice, 2 eggs, but we're gonna take the yolks out, some Parmesan. Now Parmesan cheese is a hard ripened cheese. On the primal diet we can eat it, but don't go crazy with it. If you're lactose intolerant, don't eat it. But if you don't have a problem with it like me, you know, it's not a bad idea to indulge once in a while. Cheese is delicious. So a little bit of salt, some Worcestershire sauce, some extra virgin olive oil, some Dijon mustard, some freshly cracked ground pepper. We take our garlic, and we're just gonna smash a clove. Smash it up. Take the skin right off, and just gonna give it a rough chop. The idea here is we want to make a paste, a sort of anchovy garlic paste. Use 1 clove of garlic. Don't use too much, otherwise you're going to smell like a Sicilian sailor. Okay? Take your anchovies, push the garlic in there, and take a little pinch of salt. And then start chopping. What the salt does is it's going to act as a sort of abrasive that will help mash up the garlic. Now what we do is we want to just sort of work our knife flat against the garlic and create this sort of paste. And you can feel the salt is starting to work with the anchovies and the garlic, and it's going to make this really, really nice creamy paste that's going to be the base for our Caesar dressing. What you end up with is this really, really nice paste of anchovies and garlic. Go straight in the bowl. Here's a tip. Come on in. Most people crack the eggs on the side of the bowl. That leaves some of the eggshell going into the egg. What you do is you take 2 eggs and you crack one against the other. Perfect crack. And then what we want to do is just take the yolk only into the bowl. A pinch of salt, a dash of Worcestershire, a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, some freshly ground cracked black pepper, a splash of red wine vinegar, about a teaspoon or so, And now we want to whisk it and slowly start to add our olive oil. Here's the tip. If you're on your own and you don't have, a steady set of hands to help you, take a kitchen towel, dampen it, make a rim around the bowl, and that'll hold it in place. Now we take our whisk and we slowly start to drizzle in the olive oil. A little bit at a time. What we're trying to do here is emulsify this vinaigrette. Get it nice and thick so that it covers our romaine lettuce. Alright, so this is coming together quite nicely. Nice and thick. We added about a quarter cup of olive oil to our dressing. Then we want to taste it. You see how it coats my finger? That's nice. Oh, it's good. Garlic, the vinegar is coming through, the olive oil is really nice, and the anchovy flavor coats your mouth. It's just so tasty. Alright, last thing we need is our Parmigiano Reggiano, the king of cheeses. That's going to really make it nice and creamy and bring a lot more flavor to the dressing. Already, it's become twice as creamy, twice as delicious. Alright, so our flank steak's been marinating for about, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half, something like that. We're going to get it ready to go on the grill. You want to spread out the coals in one hot part of the grill onto one side. Our onions are still cooking in there, our sweet potatoes are in there. And here's how you test if the grill is hot enough. You put your hand over it. If you can't move your hand over it for more than 3 seconds, it's good, okay? If you can leave your hand over there for more than 3 seconds, then you probably need a hotter grill. Now look at this, come here, get in here. Look at the color of this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful steak. All the chili and the cilantro and the lime juice and the garlic has been marinating this piece of meat. We're gonna lay it flat right across the really, really hot part of the grill. Listen to that sizzle. Flatten it out. Make sure it's nice and flat so that it cooks nice and evenly. Now you notice I don't touch the meat. You put it down on the grill, you leave it. Do not touch it. You want the meat to develop this sort of crust. They call it a Maillard crust. And when you do that, all of the flavors from all of the juices in the marinade and in the steak itself are going to caramelize, they're going to really come together, and it's going to be so much more delicious. Okay, so look, the blood is starting to come up from little pockets of the meat. That's our signal to flip it. Oh yeah, look at that. This is that Maillard crust I was talking about. Don't be afraid to caramelize your meat. That's not the beef that's burning. It's actually some of the juices from the vinegar, from the garlic, and from the marinade that we put on it. It's just about done. It's been sitting on the grill for about 5 minutes now. We flipped it over. Here's how to tell if it's cooked or not. Take your hand, you make a fist, tight fist. Touch this part of the fist. If it's really, really tight when you make a fist, that's well done. This sort of springiness. Loosen your fist a little bit, that's medium. Loosen your fist all the way, that's rare. So what we want is a medium rare. So we make a fist, loosen it a little bit, and this sort of springiness is what we want to feel for on our meat. And that's exactly what we've got. We've got a beautiful medium rare. Or you just get a meat thermometer and make your life real simple. So our meat is ready to come off the grill. We're just going to take it, putting it right onto our cutting board. All right. Our lemons are nice and done. We're going to take those off too. And I'll come back for the potatoes and the onion. Meat is off the grill. We're back inside. Number one tip when you cook steak, let it rest. Otherwise, if we cut into it right now, all the juices are going to run out and we're going to be left with a really dry piece of meat. Alright, so while our meat is resting, we're going to quickly throw on our lettuce on the grill. It's going to take 30 seconds max. 15 seconds on one side, 15 seconds on the other. We're not looking to cook it, we just want a little bit of a char. So we've cut them lengthwise, and we just keep the ends pieces intact. Don't cut these off yet. Take a little bit of olive oil, and we just want to drizzle it nicely over top, and then brush it. Toss it around. This is going to go straight on the grill. (15-30 seconds max per side. We're going to let that nicely char up. Alright, lettuce is nice and grilled. We're going to take that beautiful Caesar dressing that we made earlier. It's been sitting in the fridge, marinating together, all the flavors coming together. We're just going to drizzle it right over top of our lettuce. Just like that. Family style. And this is going to be the best Caesar salad you've ever had in your life, I promise you. Take a little bit more of that Parmigiano-Reggiano cheese and we just grate it right over top. Beautiful. Oh my God, that looks good. Our potatoes are nice and cooked. Look at that. You just slice it down the top, squeeze it all together, and just spread it open with your knife, just like that. Finish it off. We take some grass-fed butter, little slice right in there, and let that melt. Let's see how our onion did. Oh yeah. So this is why we want to keep the skin on. So the outside of the skin is all nice and charred, but watch what happens when we cut into it. It is the most perfectly roasted onion, beautiful pink flesh inside. And just peel those outer layers of skin off, and you're left with the most delicious roasted onion. Oh my God, it smells amazing. Alright, so our steak is nice and rested. You want to cut against the grain. Nice and pink inside. Alright, so everything is nice and set up. We plated it beautifully. Family style, rustic, beautiful skirt steak that's been marinating in our chili, cilantro, lime dressing. We've got our Gaucho Sweet Potatoes, our roasted onions, our burnt lemons, our Caesar with a little rustic twist where we grilled the romaine. And now remember that marinade that I made earlier. We're going to take a little bit of that same marinade. We're going to just drizzle it right over top of our steak. Just like that. Oh man, it smells amazing. Right, so while the fellas are busy watching a little bit of the soccer match, I don't think they'll notice if I take a little bit of a taste. Alright, let's grab this piece here. A little bit of that sauce. Oh. You taste the cilantro, the lime juice. Oh, the garlic is coming through. The chili, the heat of the chili is hitting the back of my throat. That is amazing. Guys, you've got to try this. Who says that healthy food has to be boring? Please give this a try. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more videos just like this. This is real deal cooking. Feed your family and friends and unleash your primal gourmet.